Welcome back to this half hour of Daybreak. I'm Marcus Chook.
Good morning, I'm Kara Sohn. We are following breaking news for you from overnight. 3 Dallas police officers shot and one of them has died.
We've got team coverage for you this morning. Tiffany Liu is live in Dallas off Ledbetter Drive, the scene where this began, when we're told that suspect walked up and shot and killed an officer as he was sitting in his squad car. Natalie Haddad standing by in Louisville, where police say they shot and killed that suspect after a lengthy car chase.
First, we are going to go to Chris Sadeghi live at DPD headquarters. And Chris, we heard from police overnight. Clearly, their department is hurting right now.
Yeah, Kara, as you would expect, anytime an officer loses their life in the line of duty, that department feels it. Surrounding departments feel it. It is a fraternity among law enforcement, and we do expect that we will see lots of support pouring in. In fact, we already saw a lot of that support overnight at Methodist Hospital. The officers who were there, who showed up for their fallen colleague, saluted his family as the family was led in. The Dallas Police Department made sure that they were given an escort to Methodist Dallas. We could also see police cars lined up all the way down the street until it was time to form that procession. Then they quickly fell in line. The motorcycle officers led the way as the fallen officer was taken from the hospital to the medical examiner's office, and then followed by a long line of police cars with their lights flashing, following behind as they made their way north on I-35. Of course, some of the officers still had to process this scene, and Tiffany Liu is there at the scene where everything unfolded to walk us through what happened.
Yeah, well, Chris, this was more than 8 hours ago when the shooting started here on Ledbetter. We're actually being kept a distance away from the actual scene, but I can tell you that police have several blocks actually blocked off here, all the way from University Hills to Marsalis here on Ledbetter. Again, like I mentioned, it started after 10 o'clock last night. Dallas police say they found an officer shot inside the patrol car. Sources say he was ambushed, and 2 more officers showed up as backup when the suspect shot and hit them too. Now, this morning I did listen to that radio traffic from after the shooting. You could hear officers were doing CPR on one of their own as they waited for the ambulance to arrive. You could hear the panic in the voices of these first responders. They know every second, every minute counts after their 3 officers were shot.
342 officers available with gunshot wounds. Where's an ambulance? Passing Westmoreland now. 10-4, 3 ambulances are en route. 3X7, notify Methodist Central. We're coming in hot.
And we did hear from Dallas Fire Rescue just moments ago about their response times. They were here within 4 to 5 minutes of receiving that call, and that's exactly how far away the closest fire stations are from where I'm standing right now. We know those officers were taken to Methodist and Baylor Hospital. The officer at Methodist Hospital passed away. There are 2 still remaining at Baylor Hospital. 1 is critically injured. Another is expected to be okay. Let's send it over to Natalie Haddad in Louisville, where the story continues.
Actually, we'll take it here, Tiffany. We do want to tell you on the map here, you can see how this shooting left several major scenes across North Texas. The initial shooting taking place in Dallas's southeast Oak Cliff area, as we just told you. Then officers chasing that suspect up to 35 and 121 in Louisville.
Now we're going to go out to Natalie. So she is in Louisville where that chase ended. Natalie, you've been out there for several hours now, and you know we've seen that video behind you. It seemed like a lot was going on. What does it look like now?
That's right. We got here around 1:30 this morning. It was active then, still very active now. I want to show you what we're seeing, just the latest developments here at the scene, where you see an investigator and crime scene investigators with bags. As our senior crime and justice reporter, Rebecca Lopez, reported for us a little bit earlier, 2 weapons were recovered from the scene. That is what we are seeing being bagged up right now. 1 weapon that was described as a high-capacity rifle that was laying on the street when we got here has already been bagged up. And then earlier, just really moments ago, we also saw investigators pull out what looked like a long gun and bag it up for evidence right there. In this exact same spot that you are seeing on camera right now is also where the police chase that we were just talking about, Mark and Kara, that's where it ended. Some details we have about that we actually obtained from a letter that was sent to Louisville Police Department from their police chief. It says that just after the suspect shot the 3 Dallas police officers, he began to flee, driving his car car north. Dallas police chased the suspect into Louisville. The suspect reportedly pulled over on North Stemmons Freeway. That's what you're seeing on your camera right now. He got out of his car with his weapon, and Dallas police shot and killed him. Now, per that same letter, Louisville police were not involved in the shooting, but they are helping in the investigation. Now, like we mentioned, those weapons are being bagged up right now, still on the road. A look at the scene elsewhere behind us, though, shows all of these police units. You see many of them empty. Officers are out of their units speaking with one another. You also see an abundance of evidence markers on the ground. That is where shell casings are laying right now. Now, the investigation here does continue. So meanwhile, I will send it back to you in studio, Mark and Kara.
Okay, we appreciate the insight, Natalie. The story is still developing. We're working to get answers to a lot of questions this morning because it is so complex. So stay with us both on air and online throughout the day as we bring you the latest and up-to-date information.